Oxossi and Ogum, they are um, Irumale slash Orishas.
So let me explain a little
Yes.
bit first. Why those two? From research that I've done, again, this is Donna Sisi. She was saying that she, either she mentioned Oshosi and Ogun really connected with capoeira. Why? Ogun obviously warrior, fighter, etc., etc. And then Oshosi because of the community. He brings people together. You know, you hunt something, you share it with the community. Back in there, there's no fridge to just stuck it in and save it for later. So, and the elegance, at least in Afro-Brazilian, Oshosi kind of represents a certain kind of swagger, certain kind of like agility. You can't be a clumsy hunter, right? You have to be, you have to, so they even say a famous kind of like thing that they kind of like connects the two is that Ogun clears the way and Oshosi steps in his footsteps. Because Oshosi doesn't make a lot, his goal is to hunt, right? So he knows how to find the quietest, less kind of disruptive ways to get what he needs.
Yeah.
Which is very connected with capoeira because it's such the fight of the underdog, you know. So if you could speak a little bit about them too, according to the tradition.
So Oxossi, and Ogum, both hunters and warriors. When they're not being warriors, they're hunting. But Oshossi's energy, some lineages say that Oxossi was female.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Some people in Brazil say that he was connecting with being gay, homosexual.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've heard that about another one too. I think it was Laguna Day. But anyway, Oxossi is in for Ifa is known as the one who finds a path. Some people say like a sniper, a sharpshooter, but very quiet. Oxossi will do work quietly for you. He's not very loud and not very quiet, but stealth. And so when we're doing prayers for Oxossi, we're asking Oxossi to work for us in a quiet way. Direct, yes. Direct and quiet. And there's no noise about it. There's straight path.
Like an arrow.
Yes. That's why you see the bow is one of his instruments. And also very clean and sharp. Oxossi doesn't miss the target. That's why when we ask Oxossi to do something, we want to make sure that you're very clear about what you want done. Because it's very rare that the energy of Oxossi misses. So it's about accuracy and pinpointing what you need to have happen. And also, again, there's a certain amount of modesty, so to speak, in it because he's so quiet and gets the work done. And also, very much able to blend in to the environment wherever he's at. You know, that's why you see a good warrior / hunter can blend in. Camouflage. Camouflage. Because sometimes you'll see, unless you're really familiar with Oxossi, you'll see the shrine and you won't see it. Where's your Oxossi? It's right there. Oh, I never noticed it. So Oxossi is very good about doing things quiet, in a quiet, almost sneaky way, but very accurate, and knows when to move. I think I talked a little bit about that in the other thing I did for you. But Oshossi's energy is knowing when to move, and timing and being patient. That's the other piece. So Oxossi is also known as one of the Irumale that was, I believe, responsible for, some people say developing our limbs. And then I also heard that he's also responsible for the ligaments and things in our joints, and Ogun's responsible for the bones and the frame and like the iron frame of us. Ogun's responsible for that, but Oxossi was the one that connected the ligaments and the tendons, the ligaments and tendons, all those things that we don't see, Ogun, of course, is energy as a warrior. Ogun and Oxossi both have the energy of medicine because they live in the forest. So there's also a healing component to the warriors because they have to know how to heal. They're in the forest. They have to know what the plants are for. They also have a good connection to animals because they study what the animals are eating. When the animals get ill, how do the animals heal themselves? Plus, they hunt the animals. They're the ones that kill them. And like you were saying, Dona Sisi says, Oxossi is responsible for bringing food back to the community, as well as Ogum. But their functions are a little bit different. Ogum was the pathfinder. Ogum had to do ritual before he brought the other Irumale to earth, which later became Orisha. That's another story. But they're both, I could see how they could both relate to a capoeirista. But they're also do their work. Any work that Ogum does, any work that Oxossi does, benefits a community. The hunter is feeding the community, and he has to be focused. He has to be focused, and he has to have a timeline of when to do things because people need to eat. And also for the protection piece, then they have to have the mindset to go into another part of their being to protect people. So now the implements that they have are used to protect, not for food or not to build. So they have to have two different mindsets, and they have to be able to turn them on and off. You don't want a person that's in warrior mode 24/7, or else that creates harm. It's a warrior that's out of balance that creates harm for the community. That's why you have people that are coming back from combat. They create problems because they haven't been deprogrammed, so to speak. So there are also rituals to take people out of combat mode. You find this in West Africa, you find it in Central Africa, you find it in Southern Africa, especially among the Zulus. There's certain foods that you eat, certain things that you drink to help pull the warrior energy down. And also part of that, I think it's the Dagara from Burkina Faso. When the men would come back from being warriors, doing war work, they would have the elder women at the outskirts of the town showing their breast to know that now you come back to an area where you're being nurtured. But it was the elder women.
To cool the energy.
To cool the energy down, yes. So the warriors, that makes sense.
In the marriage of the two, Ogum and Oxossi.
They're brothers, right? Also in the...
Some of the stories will say they're brothers. So it depends on the Odu. Some Odus will talk about them being brothers. And like I said, Wande Abimbala actually told me this, his mouth to my ears. Yawishe Niagbaye, he's a spokesperson for Ifa all over the world. He, in his lineage, they talk about Oxossi being female. Being female. So there were Wawa was one hunter, Oxossi was another hunter, then Ogum.
It's a good marriage, though.
Yeah.
As a warrior, to balance back and forth between those two energies, the accuracy, the clearing the way, the accuracy, all of the different elements of each Orisha. Are they both considered Orisha?
Yes.
The element of both Orishas to meld those two together and come up as a really powerful fighter. I think it makes sense in capoeira to. If you take the energy of both and put them together, then you're going to have exactly what you need to fight a really good game.
Yeah, one's is almost like a long distance game that you're waiting, and boom, you move. And then the other one is moving in once you see. They're two different games. One is at a distance and the other one is close inside. One can carry you to the close range. Once you shoot the arrow hits, now you can move in because you've stopped your target from moving. Maybe you haven't killed it, but you've stopped it from moving. Now you can go in and you can use a knife to do whatever you need to do. So it could be long range and close range, unless you get into the piece where you're using the arrows as daggers. That's another thing. Or you're using the bow as a striking weapon.
But depending on who you're fighting, you might need to have both energies.
You might need to have both.
Or one more with an opponent, or one more with a different opponent. So
that's getting into something else. Because the bow becomes part of the beating bow, right?
Yeah.
The bow becomes part of the beating bow, so that's another piece. If you see the way someone strings a beating bow, it's the same way they string the bow. The bow and arrow. It's the same. But the bow is also, we go deeper into this, the bow is also another type of weapon, because the bow can be used to block things. The bow can also be used to flip over someone and choke them with the cord. So it's not just to release the arrow. It depends on your knowledge of how to use the bow. So that goes into a whole another piece. I'll say that for another.
Okay.
Yeah.